Hello, Charles Fockaert on October 25th, 2017. I welcome all of you. Thank you for supporting this channel in any way that you can. This is the fourth, I believe, in a series I'm calling Charles Fockaert On the Road with Charles Fockaert, which is the takeoff from On the Road with Charles Kuralt. I probably will not be as famous as Mr. Kuralt, but hey, you never know. You got to give it a shot, maybe. Hey. And what I'm doing is I'm sharing with you, the supporters of this channel, my experiences as I left Kalispell exactly 2 weeks ago today, October 11, and I'm now in Pocatello, Idaho. I have been here for a week and a half trying to fix what was originally a exhaust leak. The exhaust leaks on the front passenger side of a 350 Chevy 1977, which is normally a pretty easy fix if the bolts all come out and you slip the new gasket in. The gaskets only cost a few bucks, and so I went ahead and decided to do that because as I'm driving down the road, it was too loud. And I just, with all the other stress, and if you watch the other videos, you'll know what that other stress was all about. I decided to fix it there in the parking lot of Freddie Meyer, and you can put the parentheses around the Meyer, and let me give you a picture of that here. So I won't go into detail. That's what the previous video number 3 in the series is all about. And I get on Craigslist, and I want to thank again my buddy Ryan up there. He's been for me, and it was good to talk to you last night, Ryan. And he suggests I look on Craigslist for a mechanic that'll give me a hand. I did that. I ended up calling. This would have been on Tuesday, October 17. I'm going to call him Brian. I'm going to refer to him as Brian. I call Brian, and he says, yeah, I can be there this afternoon. Later I'll give you, I don't know, I'll come by, I know where you are. So I wait and I wait and I wait in the parking lot there, and he doesn't show up. And finally he calls me back and says, yeah, I can't make it today, but I'll be there first thing in the morning. What time do you get up? And I said, well, I'm up at 6. And he goes, yeah, I'm an early riser too. And anyway, I get up in the next morning. I'm waiting for Brian, and Brian doesn't show, and I finally get a hold of him and say, hey buddy, you coming or what? And he says, yeah, I'll be there. So he finally shows up around noonish. I forget exactly, but it was later. We put some water in the radiator. And by the way, after using the weld, JB weld, and plugging the hole, and after we started the engine again the second time and got it going, there was no leak. No leak. There was leaking before, but now there's no leak. But I can't take the chance of being in the middle of nowhere in Utah or Arizona or Nevada or wherever and have it blow out and overheat my engine, and then I got a huge problem. So I drive over to his place, and on the way over there's an RV place. I'm having trouble with the electrical, so I stop in there and I chat with a guy, and he's a very nice guy. I met a really nice guy. I recommend Crossroads RV in Pocatello, Idaho, and I'll get into that in another video, maybe even this video. So I ended up buying a solenoid because I've been having problems with the electrical system. That's a cheap fix, $36. I figure I'll put the solenoid in, and maybe that'll solve my problems. Anyway, we get to his place, and this is Wednesday, October the 18th, 1 week ago today. Now, I decided at this point I'm going to remove the head. I'm going to take the head out of the engine block, and it's inside of a cab, and nobody in Pocatello no mechanics wanted to work on it because it's too confining, and they got a lot of other work. Why would they want to work on a 40-year-old RV outside in what I call Big Sky Shop, and cold and everything? So I can't find anybody. Anyway, I got Brian. He's willing to do it. He shows up. I'm going to back up a little bit. He shows up in an '88 Ford XLT pickup, just like the one I used to have back in the 80s and 90s in Humboldt County, California. Now this guy's driving an 88, and it's a beater. He leaves it running, and it's a diesel engine. So he's leaving the engine running the whole time we're talking, and there's fumes, and I can hear the noise, and I'm going, well, what other choice do I got? So right away I got problems with this guy, and I could see this is going to be interesting, and I ask him how much he wants to do the job, and he tells me. And as a contractor who's bid a lot of jobs, I immediately know that his bid, his estimate, is way too low. But I'm not going to argue with the guy, and I figured, hey, if he's willing to help me, and I can do this job myself. I know how to pull the head, and I know how to do the job, but I don't have all the tools, and I don't have a place to do the work. So I go ahead, and we head over to his place, and we park at his place, and this is what that looked like. So here I am in basically a white trailer trash neighborhood. I don't want to get too graphic here, but I counted around. I counted the unused vehicles, or the non-working vehicles on his property, and there was, count them, 7 vehicles that didn't run. So now I know I got a problem. I got a guy here that I'm not sure about. And but anyway, he starts calling around on Wednesday, and we don't really get much done because he's got to go somewhere else, and I don't know where in Pocatello to get ahead for a 350 Chevy. So nothing happens on Wednesday. Wednesday the 18th. On Thursday, I'm looking at my calendar over here. On Thursday the 19th, we call around and we find a head at O'Reilly's. That's my take on O'Reilly's, and they say they can have the head shipped up from Salt Lake City, and it'll be here the next morning, which would be Friday, October 20th. So I say, hey, great. So I tell the fellow Brian, why don't we pull everything out today on Thursday? I got pretty good weather then, and it wasn't too cold, and I said, well, let's pull everything out, and that way when the head gets here tomorrow morning, we can start putting it all back together. Oh, no. The wind's going to blow tomorrow, and he was right. I listened to the weather, and the wind's going to blow tomorrow, and it'll blow all the dust and, everything inside the engine. I said, well, why don't we cover it with a blanket or something? I'll go buy some old towels or something. Well, oh, no. So he doesn't want to pull the head. Well, what am I going to do? All right, so I got to go with this guy. So, and sure enough, wait a minute, I'm doing this off the cuff, so you have to forgive me. So the next morning, I go up to O'Reilly's, which is just up the highway here, about 2 miles, thank goodness. And that's one of the good things about towing a vehicle. I could get in my pickup, and I run up there, and guess what? Guess what? The person who helps me with my order, her name is Chantrell. So I'll let you figure out what that name is attached to. And another thing I want to say here while I'm at it is, what the hell are all these females doing working in an auto parts store? When I was a young boy, you never saw a female. You know what? Females are taking jobs that normally would have been for males, but the males don't get to have the jobs that the females have. So they're replacing males with females, and there's going to be a high rate of unemployment for white males in this country, folks. And this isn't done by accident. You white males better wake the hell up, because you're not going to have any work by the time you're 25, 30, 40 years old. It's all gone. And I went to several auto parts stores in Pocatello, and there are a lot of females working in the auto parts stores. And a fellow told me the only job that the females don't want is they don't want to wash the dishes in restaurants, and you'll never see a female dishwasher, but there are a lot of male dishwashers. So that's the kind of job you white males are going to have in the future if you don't wake the hell up. More evidence that we live in a third world country, because how hard is it to get apart from Salt Lake City, which is only 3 hours away, to Pocatello, Idaho, and get it right? Anyway, the head was not there. They don't know where the head is. So here it is, Friday, and I don't have anything to do, but Brian says he's going to go cut wood. And this is about 11 o'clock is when we finally figured out we weren't going to get the head, so he decides to go cut wood. So I was going to go to the internet shop and upload some of the videos I have already done, and a couple of these already on the road with Charles Fockaert. But instead I say, you know what, I'm going to go help Brian cut firewood. He's helping me. I thought I'd help him. We get out to his grandfather's place. Has a ranch on the Snake River, and he's got wood there. So we go cut firewood, and sure enough, the wind's blowing. I'm not kidding you. A steady 30 miles an hour with gusts of over 45. I swear the wind was 50 miles an hour out there on the banks of the Snake River. And this guy's starting to cut firewood, and I think it's for himself, or here at the house, or for his grandfather or something. But oh no, he's selling this firewood to somebody. But he's cutting firewood off the ground. So he's cutting firewood off the ground. It's muddy, and it's and I'm looking around. I cut my share of firewood, folks. I had 2 fireplaces in a couple of homes. I have wood stoves, blah 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 blah. I know how to cut firewood, and I'm going, hey, wait a minute. And then the trees are blowing. I mean, we got dead trees, and we got the wind blowing at 45, 50 miles an hour. And I'm looking up. Hey, buddy, you're not wearing a helmet, and there's some widowmakers above there. Don't you think you better we better choose another place? There was plenty of other places where he could have cut a tree, dropped it, and cut it up and load it in the pickup. Oh no. And I found out right away that you can't tell Brian anything. This guy, he knows it all. Any suggestion I make, it's rejected out of hand. You ever meet people like that? Meet people like that? I've met several people like that, and those people have always cost me in one way or the other. They don't listen. They think they know it all. You're wrong, they're right. So here I am. I'm out there. The wind's blowing, and it's cold. I didn't really come prepared to spend all day out in the woods cutting firewood with this guy who's wearing sneakers, and the truck is too far away from the wood, so we've got to carry the wood. He's cutting 18-inch rounds that I'm hauling, and other wood that I'm hauling, and then he wants us to put it in the truck. And then we're going to go over to the trailer, and then we're going to unload it from the truck into the trailer. And I didn't bring a lunch. I figure we're going to, because I asked him how long we're going to be out there. He said, oh, just a couple hours. I can cut a cord of wood in an hour and a half by myself. Okay, so he ate a big, huge lunch. He had 2 pieces of pizza and a big old meat on a sandwich there at 11 o'clock while we were driving over, and I had a small egg at 6. I had an egg at 6:30. So I'm getting tired, I'm hungry, and I'm cold, and I'm hauling firewood over the gullies and into the back of the pickup. I'm not complaining about what I'm doing. I didn't say a word. But he's not taking any suggestions of mine, so I just keep my mouth shut, and I'm helping this guy. And to make a long story short, we got to his grandfather's house to use the wood splitter. We got there at about 6:30, and the sun sets at about 6:40. So we go in the house, and he chats with grandfather, which was actually his father in reality, because he raised him. So we're inside of an old 50-year-old ranch house that the carpet hasn't been cleaned in 40 years at least, and it's overheated. It's hot. I'm tired. I'm hungry. And it was a very unpleasant experience. And I'm going, hey, wait a minute, buddy. I thought we were going to split wood. Anyway, I could go into detail. Everything he did in splitting the wood was wrong. And I finally just gave up. The wind's blowing, remember, and it's cold at 45, 50 miles an hour still, or at least 25 to 30 miles an hour. And I'm out there with my finger up my butt because he won't give me something to do because he knows it all. And he evidently called his wife because he didn't want me to be the one helping him. So he calls the wife, and the wife comes out, and she's splitting the wood. He tells her to throw the wood over there. She throws the wood over there. He's going to stack it. Now, why in the hell he wants to stack it in the back of the trailer when he's going to have to remove it anyway? I don't know. So he's yelling at the wife because she's throwing the wood over there where he told her to, and she's going to hit him. And I'm just watching this whole thing, and I cannot believe what I'm doing because he should have moved the trailer over here. And anyway, I just gave up. I got in the truck and just sat there. I didn't get out of there. He finally come over to me at about 8:30, and he says, my wife's going back to the house if you want to go with her. And I just got out of the truck, and I got in her car, and I said, boy, it's cold out there, isn't it? And she said, yeah. And I said, your name is such and such, started with an M. She said, no, it's this. And I said, okay. So we drove for the next 30 minutes, and she didn't say a word. She didn't say a word. And she's texting on a 2-lane highway at night, and it's raining. It's raining, and she's texting. Man, I'll tell you what. That was, the whole day. So anyway, I don't want to make this a long video, so I'm going to end it there, and I'll do another video beginning on Saturday, October 21st for the next video. So this has been Charles Fockaert, on the road with Charles Fockaert in Pocatello, Idaho, relating to you my experiences as I travel down from Kalispell to Arizona. And I'm trying to get away from the cold weather, and I believe it's colder here in Pocatello than it would have been up in Kalispell at this time, but I'm on my way. I'm not quite halfway there yet, I believe. And I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. And may the grace of God, our Father, Yahweh, the creator of the level plain earth with the firmament covering it, blue waters above, that's why the sky is blue, in my opinion, waters below, may his grace be upon us all, and especially upon me. And I cover your prayers because I certainly need them. See ya.